When we think back on all that's been accomplished with the David Lynch Foundation all these years,
I think this is what people need.
I am 1,000% better when I do that.
It has made all the difference.
it does not happen without all of you. So on this beginning of our 15th year, I just want to give you an overview of what these last 14 years have been like. It actually started in 2005 with students listening to David Lynch talk about exploring the frontiers of consciousness, creativity, and the brain. First support with the David Lynch Foundation came in early 2008. We used it to fund our program in San Francisco. We ended up teaching several thousand students.
I used to be a horrible student during my freshman and sophomore year. I had bad grades. Now I am an A or B student.
Tonight, from Radio City Music Hall in New York City, change begins within. An all-star lineup of legendary performers join together with Oscar-nominated director David Lynch to benefit the David Lynch Foundation and its mission.
To truly teach 1 million kids transcendental meditation all around the world.
First time Paul and Ringo had been together in 20 years on a stage in the United States.
I get by with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get high with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends.
Thank you very, very much for being here tonight for this great, great cause, Operation Warrior Wellness.
I could not believe what happened. It was the difference between heaven and hell. All that feeling of stress and all that feeling of heaviness, I could feel it melt away. My emotions came back. My life came back.
We can get this done. With your help, we can start tomorrow.
Since that day in 2011, thousands of veterans have learned to meditate for free through the David Lynch Foundation. Our veterans programs are incredibly successful. We're teaching in VA hospitals here in Manhattan and Brooklyn, as well as up in Westchester now.
Transcendental meditation is a tool that does make you better. It does bring you from the shadows and into the light.
At Fort Gordon in Augusta, Georgia, we've had research studies underway where they're finding that TM is healing traumatic brain injury. 800 cadets have learned to meditate at Norwich University, which is the oldest private military college in America. National Defense University, the premier educational institution for training the next generation of admirals and generals. 150 have learned transcendental meditation.
I think it helps you to become the best version of yourself, and who doesn't want to have that?
And now a major study funded by a $2.5 million grant from the Department of Defense found transcendental meditation to be as effective, if not more effective, for reducing the symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder compared to the gold standard in VA hospitals. We're working to fund the phase 3 trial that will be 750 to 1,000 veterans. If we get the same results, the VA will fund transcendental meditation for any of the 700,000 veterans who suffer from the nightmare of PTSD in America today. 2 years ago, the University of Chicago Crime and Education Lab put out a request for proposals. Please help us reduce violence and arrests in the toughest schools in Chicago.
Two of the most important challenges facing America today are improving academic outcomes for youth and reducing violent crime. Given the strong causal relationship between earning a high school diploma and the risk for criminal involvement, you can essentially think of these two things as the flip side of the same coin.
230 organizations submitted proposals. They accepted 3. David Lynch Foundation and Quiet Time was one of those 3. Why did they give us that? because they had visited the schools out in San Francisco. They had people in New York who had seen the Bronx school. The data will be coming out in a month or two, but the preliminary data showed a significant reduction in arrests for violent crime for the students, the teenagers, attending schools in the toughest, most violent neighborhoods of South Side of Chicago. They'd never seen anything like it before. That led to us getting a grant from the Department of Education and their Title I funding. First time the federal government has given money for public school kids to learn transcendental meditation, and now we have the funds to do the final major study. 4,000 kids, toughest schools in New York City over the next 3 years. If we get the same results that we've had in Chicago, that will further open the doors for Title I funding. Money from the federal government for schools at or below the poverty level. There are 16 million children attending schools in those neighborhoods and communities. So it is not far-fetched at all. We are laying the groundwork for fulfilling what our initial desire was, to make TM available to every at-risk child in America who wants to learn to meditate. It's extraordinary what's happened.
Meditation, more than any other factor, has been the reason for whatever success I've had.
And we've let people know we're doing it through so many different channels.
We're all stressed today with what's going on in the world for various reasons. So it seems like now more than ever is a time that people should meditate.
What we've done here has spread all over the world. So on this beginning of our 15th year, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I think the next 15 years are going to be unbelievable. So thank you. Have a great rest of your day.